from AT&T Broadband Atlanta. This is Around Town.
Welcome to the May edition of Around Town, our monthly news and information update for AT&T Broadband customers here in Metro Atlanta. I'm Cindy Kicklighter.
And I'm Griffin. Coming up on today's program, AT&T Broadband Atlanta continues our commitment to improving customer service. Today, you'll meet Steve Hackley, our new Vice President of Customer Care, who is supervising our field operations, call centers, and newly renovated broadband service centers. And another improvement, our Metro Atlanta customers now have more flexibility in paying their internet or cable TV bills online. We'll tell you about AT&T Broadband's new online bill pay that allows you to pay your bill online with a credit card or set up recurring credit card payments. We'll have all the details coming up.
Also on today's program, we'll take you to Phillips Arena, where AT&T Broadband Atlanta officially welcomed the Georgia Force and Arena Football to Metro Atlanta. We are official sponsors of the Georgia Force, and our Senior Vice President, Steve White, was on hand to handle the coin toss for the inaugural game. And later, AT&T Broadband employees took to the streets of downtown Atlanta last month to help raise money for the March of Dimes in their 32nd Annual Walk America. We'll show you how Atlanta did in helping raise funds toward a national goal of $100 million.
Cindy, if you're a fan of pay-per-view, you'll want to stay tuned for a new monthly feature. David Williams, our product manager for pay-per-view, stops by to update us on all the new titles and special events coming up this month. And we'll have details on the May Around Town meeting. It will be in Peachtree City. All that coming up on this edition of Around Town. But first, a look at what's happening this month here at AT&T Broadband Atlanta.
AT&T Broadband Atlanta customers now have more flexibility in paying their internet or cable TV bills online. AT&T Broadband Online Bill Pay allows customers to pay their bill online using a credit card or set up their account for automatic recurring credit card payments. In addition, customers can view current and past billing statements and recent account activity, as well as update important account information, including their billing address, telephone number, credit card information, and preferred email address for statement notification. For added convenience, AT&T Broadband Online Bill Pay also offers the customers the ability to change their statement delivery method from paper to electronic. To sign up for this new service, go to this address, help.broadband.att.com.
May 31st is the deadline to apply for the AT&T Broadband Emerging Technology Awards. The awards program encourages teachers in kindergarten through 12th grade to develop new curriculum by using cable TV and the internet in their classrooms. In August, 48 teams of teachers from all across the nation will receive both a cash grant and a digital camera to implement their proposed project. 16 first-place teams will receive a $3,000 grant and a digital camera. 16 second-place teams will receive a $2,000 grant and a digital camera. And 16 third-place teams receive a $1,000 grant and a digital camera. Applications for the Emerging Technology Awards were mailed to all of our Metro Atlanta schools back in March. Applications and guidelines are also available online at attbroadband.com/education.
In our continuing efforts to improve customer service, last month AT&T Broadband Atlanta welcomed the newest member of our senior management team. Steve Hackley is Vice President of Customer Care for AT&T Broadband Atlanta's region. He brings more than 16 years experience in customer service with AT&T Business Networks, Fidelity Investments, and the former Media One Northeast region in Massachusetts. Most recently, he served as Vice President of Customer Service for All America Financial in Worcester, Massachusetts. Steve, thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Great. Well, you've been in the job for a couple of weeks now. So what do you think of Atlanta and most specifically AT&T Broadband?
Well, Atlanta isn't new to me. While I haven't lived here as a resident, I've had the opportunity to run operations out of Atlanta. So I've known this is going to be a good place for me to come into. Specifically for AT&T Broadband, I'm impressed with really the resources we have to work with here, both the human resources, and I've been out to all of our field sites. I've done some ride-outs with the techs, and I've been in the call center. And really the work ethic and the commitment to doing the right thing for our customers is strong, and we have some good material to work with our people. And in terms of the plant and the network we have, the resources are good too. We have 18,000 miles of plant to maintain here and to upgrade. And when I look at the percent that we've upgraded over the years, there's a great run rate that we have to work here. So I'm very enthusiastic about being in the Atlanta marketplace with broadband.
Steve, in today's marketplace, I think you hear a lot of people talk about customer service, the importance of serving the customer. From your experience, what does that really mean to you?
It's a good question, Reg, but let me sort of switch things around. I think the companies that excel do a good job at matching their products and their customer service. So when you overemphasize one at the expense of the other is when the customers, they notice it. So our customers are pretty sophisticated and have high expectations. So they want innovative, well-priced products that are serviced well at the same time. So it's a combination that we need to keep in balance.
Now, you previously worked in the cable industry with Media One. In your opinion, have you seen a lot of changes in the cable industry since that time?
Yes.
And what are those changes?
The pace is very frenetic. And I think what's at the heart of it is we're moving from the theory of broadband into applied technology. So now we actually have to make this thing work in our marketplaces. So we're moving really from a single-dimensional product to offering high-speed internet services as well as telephony. So it's a race to make sure that we can engineer the networks to carry that as well as maintain our processes to provision and take care of the customers at the same time. So a lot of activity in a short period of time.
Yeah, and to step away for even a week, I think the industry changes pretty dramatically. What about, Steve, you've got field operations, our 5 call centers all underneath you, and also the broadband service centers. And we have to give you a lot of credit. This is probably the soonest any new senior team member has come on the show and been willing to talk about changes. And I know you're still kind of formulating things, but what do you have in mind for Atlanta?
Well, the job design is purposeful, first of all. And what we've tried to do is encapsulate all of the primary touch points that customers might have with AT&T broadband. So anything that could form a perception of, are we a good company to supply your telecommunications and entertainment needs, I want to make sure that I try and do the best possible job. As far as saying, what are we going to do right away? I'd like to reserve a little bit of time to be, listening, listening to our customers. I was down at the Clayton, broadband store open house that we had last week, talking to people to see what's going on. I've been very active in getting to know our employees and where we're doing well and how we can support them better. So let me be in listening mode for a little longer, and we'll work that into action plans.
I think that's fair.
Well, we've had some great news over the last couple of months. Our call centers have been answering 85 to 90% of our customer calls in 30 seconds, and that's a major accomplishment for us. How do you think we can maintain that through the spring and summer months?
Good question. And first of all, the word hope is not in my operational vocabulary. So you can't just hope that things continue. And what you do to move beyond that is you really manage the sub-processes. So answering the phone quickly and being responsive happens because you do a good job forecasting what the volume is going to be. You would do a good job of hiring the right people and training them to be on the phones and to really deliver the service. So it doesn't happen by luck. It's maintaining vigilance over all the piece parts that go into being able to be responsive.
Got about 30 seconds left. Steve, what's your advice to anyone who might be watching, considering, contemplating a career in the broadband industry?
In the broadband industry? Well, the pace is very important. And I think if you have that customer service gene, as I call it, this is a good place for you to be able to differentiate yourself. So people, I feel like lapsing into a Jeff Foxworthy here. If you tell stories about your shopping experience, you might be a good candidate for customer service in the broadband industry. If you get a package on your front step and it's out of the rain, and you say, that's the right way to do it. You have that composite makeup to do customer service and do it well for broadband customers.
Great. Well, welcome to Atlanta,
Thank
officially.
you.
Glad to have you here, and we're looking forward to bringing you back, talking about improvements as we move along and continue to serve our customers.
So I have to move out of listening mode and doing mode.
Yeah, eventually, probably. You work for the same guy I do, so yeah, but great to have you here, and welcome to Atlanta. To you and your family. You're married, and you have two daughters?
I'm married for 14 years, and I have 2 daughters that we're looking forward to getting into residence and ready for the school year in the fall.
What are their names?
Hannah and Kara.
Hannah and Kara. So we welcome, and your wife's name is?
Donna.
Donna, all right, great.
And Angus is the dog.
Angus. Get Angus in there. Thanks a lot for joining us.
You're welcome.
Steve Hackley, our new Vice President of Customer Care here at AT&T Broadband Atlanta. Coming up next here on Around Town, order AT&T Broadband's digital telephone service later this month. At one of our broadband service centers, you'll get a free phone. We'll have more details. And later, it's an AT&T Broadband first down as the Georgia Force and Arena Football arrive here in Atlanta. Around Town continues in just a moment.
Everywhere you turn, there are new AT&T broadband service centers popping up. We're renovating our former cable stores into interactive service centers where you can find broadband solutions to your entertainment and communication needs. Our newest broadband service center is located in Peachtree City at 2100 Highway 54 East, Suite 102 in the Peachtree Promenade. The center is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Other broadband service centers are located in Grayson, Alpharetta, Marietta, Jonesboro, Chamblee, Greenbrier Mall, and coming soon to Douglasville. For locations and directions, visit our website at att.broadband.com Atlanta. Click on Customer Service and go to Contact Us.
Here's an added incentive for dropping by one of our broadband service centers between May 28th and June 1st. During that week, when you stop by one of our 8 locations and sign up for local and long-distance telephone service, we'll give you a free AT&T telephone with caller ID. Here to talk about this new promotion is Marjorie Fox, product manager for AT&T Broadband Digital Telephone Service here in Atlanta. Marjorie, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Let's start with the basics. Is telephone service over cable lines, is it any different than other telephone service people might be used to?
It's the exact same as a consumer. You pick up the phone, you listen, you dial. It's the exact same as what you've been used to your whole life.
It comes in through the traditional cable lines, though.
That's just the difference, but it's invisible from a consumer standpoint.
Okay.
And how did the prices compare to our incumbent provider?
Depending on what you get, you can save up to 25% off the incumbent provider. And depending on the more you get, the more savings you get.
And what are some of the features that people usually like for their telephone service?
Well, call waiting and caller ID are everybody's favorite, and we actually offer packages, which call waiting and caller ID for a discounted price of $9. We also offer a multi-feature pack, which has 12 very popular features, including call waiting and caller ID, 3-way calling, call forwarding, and that's $13 discounted price.
Great.
Now, you've been in the phone business for a while. Caller ID, is that probably the most popular feature overall?
Call waiting really is the most popular, but caller ID is a close second.
Now, you can get actually 2 phone lines from us, really almost for the price of one when you compare. Is that right?
The first phone line is $16, and the second phone line is discounted at $11. And then every line after that, up to 4 lines, is $11.
Do you find that most people use the primary line fully loaded for their main phone line? And then what are some uses for a secondary phone line?
Second line can be for a roommate or children or a home office. You can use it for dial-up for a computer, though I would recommend our
high-speed internet
yes.
service. Right?
Yeah.
But if you're still in the dial-up world,
Yes.
not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Or a fax machine.
Or a fax machine, yeah.
Okay. The long-distance service now from AT&T. Can I also order that from AT&T Broadband?
Yes, we offer long distance now. AT&T Broadband does. There are 7 plans to choose from, and some of the most popular ones are by the minute plan, a very competitive price, $2.95 monthly service charge at 7 cents a minute. And that's a very competitive plan if you take a look at all the different long distance offerings out there. And then you can also get blocks of time if you talk around 180 minutes a month, it's $11.95, and that's 7 cents a minute. So there's some very good pricing plans out there.
Well, Marjorie, why don't you tell us about the May promotion for customers that go into the broadband service centers and sign up for phone service?
From May 28th through June 1st, if you go into the Broadband Service Center and you sign up for digital telephone service with AT&T Broadband, you get this phone that Reg has here.
I'll do my Vanna White for you here.
Yeah,
Here
we have some phones to give away, and they're caller ID capable, and so that's what we're rewarding our customers with.
Now, do you have to have the local service and the long distance? Is there a stipulation on that?
No, you do not. It's elective, but we do suggest it because the plans are really competitively priced.
Okay. And when you go into the broadband service center, you can meet face-to-face with one of our customer care professionals,
and
kind of
you
walk
can
through the plan.
talk through, because getting phone service, it is quite, there's quite a lot of things to choose from.
Right.
And so it is nice to go in and talk to somebody in person rather than sign up over the phone. Sometimes it's more comfortable to do that, so that's a nice way.
A lot of people like to understand exactly what they're getting, and that's a good way to do it. Great. You go to our website for more information, and that address, of course, is attbroadband.com/Atlanta for information on our digital telephone service as well as all of our products here at AT&T Broadband. Marjorie, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Every month, there's something new and exciting for you to see on in-demand pay-per-view from AT&T Broadband Atlanta. Starting this month, David Williams, our product manager for pay-per-view here in Atlanta, will join us on Around Town with some of the big movies and special events you can expect to see. David, what do you have for us this month?
Cindy, I've got a great lineup for the viewers this May on pay-per-view. First, let me tell you about the great box office hits that are premiering this month. We've got Training Day, which is a powerful police drama that features Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke as they showcase their Oscar-nominated performances in a story about a rookie cop on the first day of the narcotics squad. And Spy Game, the hit feature starring Brad Pitt, my old fraternity brother, and Robert Redford in an action-packed thriller about a retiring CIA agent that swings into action to save his protege that's arrested in China. Or Serendipity, the romantic comedy about two people in love that decide to see if destiny will bring them back together. Serendipity stars John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale. And Artificial Intelligence, a $79 million box office sci-fi adventure directed by Steven Spielberg, which is about a humanoid boy who longs to be real. And that's just the beginning. Other pay-per-view hits premiering this month include K-Pax, 13 Ghosts, Bandits, and many more. And ordering can be as easy as a click of your remote control. And if pay-per-view movies aren't enough, AT&T Broadband also delivers exciting live events, including WWF Judgment Day, which premieres on May 21st, and MLB Extra Innings, baseball's exclusive pay-per-view programming that allows you to catch up to 35 Major League games a week. So look for all of this month's box office hits and exciting live events on pay-per-view from AT&T Broadband and In Demand.
All right, David, thanks. Folks are going to want to know, David, now that they know Brad Pitt was his fraternity brother. Coming up next on Around Town, AT&T Broadband Atlanta helps bring the Georgia Force and arena football to Metro Atlanta. We'll take you to the inaugural game at Phillips Arena. And AT&T Broadband employees hit the streets of downtown Atlanta, along with some familiar faces, to help raise money for the March of Dimes. We'll be right back. Each month, AT&T Broadband Atlanta holds an Around Town meeting in one of our 8 major counties. In May, we'll hold a meeting in Fayette County on Tuesday, May 21st, 2002, beginning at 6 p.m. at our newly renovated Broadband Service Center. In fact, it's brand new in Peachtree City at 2100 Highway 54 East, Suite 102 in the Peachtree Promenade. Our senior management team will be on hand to discuss AT&T Broadband's products and services. You can get more details on our Around Town hotline at 770-559-7979. Well, from hard-hitting arena football at Phillips Arena to fighting birth defects with a charity walk through downtown Atlanta, it's been a busy spring here at AT&T Broadband Atlanta, and here to bring us up to speed on all the action is our Public Relations Manager, Mary Margaret Johnson.
Words like sideline barriers, Mac and Jack linebackers, stunning, twisting, and two-way players have made their way into the vocabularies of many Atlantans now that the Georgia Force has hit the field at Phillips Arena. Senior Vice President Steve White and I participated in the coin toss for the inaugural game against the San Jose SaberCats, and AT&T Broadband pom-poms were distributed to all the fans. You don't want to miss the high-scoring, dominant, in-your-face action that this amazing team brings to you all spring and summer long. Join us at Phillips Arena so you can learn the lingo and be part of the excitement. For more information, you can log on to georgiaforce.com and order tickets by calling Ticketmaster at 404-249-6400. Switching gears just a little bit, AT&T Broadband employees walk the walk for healthy babies at the March of Dimes Walk America in downtown Atlanta. Reg Griffin was on hand to interview all of the bigwigs involved in this great event.
Cloudy skies and cooler than normal temperatures were the perfect conditions for the annual March of Dimes Walk America through downtown Atlanta. Thousands of walkers laced up their tennis shoes and took the 5-mile hike that began and ended at Centennial Olympic Park. Emmy Award-winning journalist Deborah Norville, a native of Dalton, Georgia, was this year's celebrity spokesperson.
I've been blessed to have healthy children. state of Georgia ranks 7th in infant mortality. I'm a Georgian. I want Georgia to rank #1 in everything, but I don't want us to rank so high up on this. So I was with a bunch of folks last night, and I said, you know, let's see what we can do to make Georgia like 49th or 50th on that list. And events like this will go a long way to making that happen.
Despite her distinguished career on both TV and radio, Norval may best be known as the woman who in 1989 replaced Jane Pauley as co-anchor of NBC's Today Show. The media accused her of pushing her way into the anchor seat, but Norval says, don't believe everything you read.
I learned so much in that experience of having your career torpedoed through no mistakes on your own, other than I was younger and blonder than Jane. Well, you know, anybody can be this color hair, and I'm not young anymore. But you learn a lot when something like that happens, and so I think I'm a better person. I'm a better journalist. And I think there are more pluses than minuses that came from the whole experience.
Norval joined national sponsors like Kmart and the National Peanut Board in kicking off the event.
Peanuts go way back, have a long history with March of Dimes. They were actually used for fundraisers. Peanuts for polio back in the 50s. We have some old photographs of 15-year-old Nancy Sinatra selling peanuts to her father to raise money for polio. And that was long before we knew about the folic acid message.
This year marked the 32nd March of Dimes Walk America. Nationally, organizers hope to raise more than $100 million, all to help research and prevent the growing problem of premature births.
This, needless to say, is our team from AT&T Broadband Atlanta, and we have over 100 folks who are walking today, and 2 dogs, ladies and gentlemen. Cricket is one of them here. Cricket's a walker, and then somewhere back in the back here, competition for Cricket. You ready to take on the 5-mile course? Yeah! All right.
Now, only one question after that report. What was that on your head?
A peanut.
For the...
Haven't you always wanted to wear a peanut head?
Oh, absolutely. During a 5-mile walk through downtown
Well,
Atlanta.
I've got it in my office. You can wear it for the rest of the day.
Okay. It's a big elephant following you, by the way. We'll talk about that later. Back with a final word on the May edition of Around Town after this break. Stay with us.